There are very few people in history who managed to terrify the most powerful state in the world. Rome. Rome, whose legions were considered unbeatable. And the man who brought Rome to its knees. Hannibal Barca. The man who crossed the Alps with his army. Who destroyed Roman legions again and again. And yet, still lost the war. For centuries, Roman mothers scared their misbehaving children with one sentence: Hannibal is coming. This was not a legend. This was a real trauma carved into Rome's memory. So who was this man? And how did someone who pushed Rome to the brink of collapse end up losing the war? Hannibal was born in 247 BC in Carthage. At the time, Carthage was one of the richest trading empires in the Mediterranean. Rome, on the other hand, was rising, but still fragile. His father, Hamilcar Barca, had fought against Rome in the First Punic War. The war was lost, but the hatred was not. According to ancient sources, Hamilcar took his young son to an altar and made him swear an oath: "You will be an enemy of Rome forever." That oath placed a war on the shoulders of a child. Hannibal grew up with war. He learned how to ride, how to fight, how soldiers think. But most importantly, he learned one crucial truth: Rome was not invincible. Hannibal was not a distant aristocrat. He lived with his soldiers, ate the same food, walked through the same mud. He spoke multiple languages, he understood human psychology, and most importantly, he understood how Rome thought. Roman armies were disciplined, but they were predictable. Hannibal thrived on chaos. Rome was powerful. It ruled the seas. Its armies outnumbered Hannibal's. Hannibal knew this. So he made a plan no one else would even consider. He would not attack Rome from the sea, but from the north. There was just one small problem: the Alps. Cold, narrow passes, avalanches, hostile tribes, and yes, elephants. Hannibal decided to march tens of thousands of soldiers and elephants across the Alps. Most believed it was suicide. Even in Carthage, the idea was dismissed. But Hannibal knew one thing: Rome would never expect this, and surprise is half of victory. Crossing the Alps was not a triumph. It was a fight to survive. Snowstorms, hunger, mutiny, attacks from mountain tribes. The elephants panicked, soldiers fell into ravines. But Hannibal kept marching. Months later, when he reached Roman territory, half his army was gone. But what remained was something else: resolve. Rome was stunned. No one thought this was possible. And at that moment, history began to change. Rome underestimated Hannibal and paid a terrible price. At the Trebia River, at Lake Trasimene, Roman armies walked straight into ambushes. But Cannae was something else entirely. Hannibal allowed the Roman army to push forward. Then he surrounded them from the sides and closed the trap from behind. This tactic is still taught in military academies today. The Roman army was annihilated. Historians would later write, "Rome died at Cannae. It just didn't know it yet." After Cannae, no one in Rome slept. The Senate met until dawn. Some suggested fleeing the city, others spoke of surrender. For the first time, Rome asked itself, what if the city falls? But Rome made a different choice. They stopped fighting Hannibal directly. They avoided him, delayed him, bought time. And now the famous question: why didn't Hannibal march on Rome? He kept winning battles, but he was alone. No reinforcements from Carthage, no money. Rome's allies were afraid. No one wanted to switch sides. Hannibal was winning on the battlefield, but losing politically. And that... Years later, the war moved to Africa. This time, the roles were reversed. Hannibal was defending, Rome was attacking. At the Battle of Zama, Hannibal was defeated. It was his first true defeat, and his last. Rome never forgave Hannibal. Wherever he went, they followed. When he realized capture was inevitable, he drank the poison he carried with him. He is said to have spoken these final words: "Let us free Rome from fearing an old man." Hannibal did not destroy Rome, but he changed it. Rome became more cautious, more ruthless, more militarized. He may have lost the war, but very few people in history have inspired such fear, even in defeat. If Hannibal had marched on Rome, do you think the world would be different today? Let us know in the comments.